Hey,
I'm Arthur Spooner, and
I'm Judah Buddha.
I got it wrong. This is Judah Buddha.
You just gotta go
Every
like
time
counterintuitive.
it's
counterintuitive.
backwards. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
go like. So
Weezer.
Weezer. So Judah, we've got some changes going on. Some things, I'm pregnant. I'm going on the Maury show, and I'm gonna find out who the father is. I'm like 1,000% sure it's one of 10 guys.
It's probably your beard.
True that. So what's some changes that we got going on?
Well, we've talked about like how we want to mix it up, reinvent ourselves a little bit, and we're gonna break it down into 15-minute increments for one thing. I mean, that's the biggest thing, right? In which we are only gonna go live with 15 minutes of it. And we're even going to switch that up after a while, right? Like the first 15 minutes is going to be what you guys get to see live, that is, this week. And then next week, we'll post the next 15 minutes, which is going to be the more refined. So the first 15 minutes, we're going to work on the refinement. We're going to try to you'll see sort of a behind the scenes of how a joke is made, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so if I were to, I guess, make some sort of analogy or whatever, it's like there's difference between reading poetry and learning how to write poetry, right? Mm-hmm. And that's the same way. Is the one 15-minute segment is going to be us reading poetry or doing comedy, right? Trying to make jokes, laugh, telling bits, stories.
That'll be the second half.
That'll be the second one that's not live. Mm-hmm. And then the other one is kind of understanding the nuts and bolts of comedy, which is what we also do. So we've kind of been doing two things. I felt like we've been meshing them together, and I don't know if it's been going well, but
we're gonna separate them out. Separate
them out. I think I think it's a good idea. I think it was a good idea. So it's going to be a little bit of change, and then the other change you're talking about that we will switch the two. So the nuts and bolts is live, and then we're going to do the jokes one not live, and they're not posting the same week. They're doing every other week, right?
Yeah, now that's the suggestion. We hope to get feedback from our viewers, maybe Captain Jim.
Mom, tell us, Mom, what do you like? And then... Oh, go ahead.
Feedback, yeah. Jay, your mom, Captain Jim.
Your mom.
My mom.
Don't talk about my mom. Your mom.
And we have some regulars that come on here. Somebody right now is watching. Go ahead and leave a like or comment. Let us know who you are. And so, yeah, we just want to mix it up a little bit. Want to keep it new, and we also we realize that a big portion of our viewership, two of you, like to hear. I mean, many of you like to hear
stories.
Hey, Jim, Captain Jim,
sounds like a winning plan.
Dr. Jim,
and
Dr. Jim. I think
he's a doctor.
Yeah, I think so. PhD. Sounds like a winning plan. I think it's like physics or something. Or tell us in the comments, Jim.
Yeah, so, and then the change up that you were talking about was once we feel like we've got some chemistry and natural flow with the jokes and the humor, where we can do a solid 15 minutes of good stuff, then we're going to flip it to where that's going to be live. Because we might be doing the editing on the jokes thing because it might have a lull until we get used to it. So that's why we're doing it that way.
The plan is to get 15 minutes chock full of laughter. Like, not us laughing, well, although that will probably be part of the formula. But and not even, I'm not even talking formula as much. Like the formulaic stuff will be in the first. But just 15... He said he's of the pointy-headed type.
Oh, okay.
Pointy head doctor, mathematics and statistics. Nice.
I can't even
I
spell
always,
statistics.
I can't either. I can't even spell math.
I was like, I saw it. I was like, wait a minute, is that too many T's in there? I can't spell it correctly, but it seems like a lot of T's for statistics. But anyways,
Yeah, Jim's smart, and so we'd love to get your feedback, Jim. Like, which would you prefer to see live? Maybe so. Our thought is that maybe it'd be fun to kind of see the behind the scenes live because you get some of the mess ups and stuff like that.
yeah.
Where we're going to try to be a little bit more refined, and probably at first we'll be a little bit more anxious with the second part because we're trying to keep it tight.
Yeah, and I think we came to this conclusion. We've kind of been beating around the bush a little bit because I remember one week where you were like, "What are we going to talk about?" And I said, "No." I said, "What are we going to talk about?" And you suggested something, and I was like, "That's not funny." And you were like, "You're like, well, does everything we have to do have to be funny?" And I was like,
I was like,
well,
the history of comedy. You're like, that sounds boring.
yeah, that sounds like a lot of laughs, barrel of laughs on that one." And then you were like, well, does everything we have to do have to be funny? And then that sparked a conversation. Like, my assumption, and not only that, remember my cousin Mercedes, she was expecting more laughs. And so
she basically tuned out because there wasn't more laughs.
Yeah.
So we're going to have to like get back up with her and be like, hey, the laughs are back once we get in a roll.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah. And maybe make a new title where we do that, and then we add like I don't know, maybe laughs or I don't know, whatever. And so that really brought up the idea is like, what are we doing? And we've had this discussion several times, and we were like decided to just kind of plow forward and say, you know what, let's just keep doing what we're doing, see how it goes. And so apparently Jim likes it. You know, nobody else likes it, so thanks, Jim. You're one in a billion.
Jim.
You're 1 in 10 billion.
No, I really appreciate Jim. He's always been a loyal viewer, and even more loyal than your mom, dude. Where's she today?
She doesn't tune in necessarily to the live thing. So whenever it pops up on her Facebook, she
watches it later.
Yeah, she just logs in, and when she sees it, she sees it. So it could be live, or it could be, 3 years old, and she would be like, "Hey, remember?" Anytime that you're on, she'll think it's me. Like, remember who's a Blackburn?
I was interviewing a bald guy, and she's like, "That's
With a
not
beard.
Joseph."
Yeah, she's just like chiming in like, "That's not Joseph. Where's my son? You bastard! He's the only one who can be online." So, she sees you doing a podcast, and she's like, "Wait a minute, I know my son,
this cheater."
Yeah, Blackburn jerk.
This fake Joseph.
Bizarro Joseph stealing his thunder.
So this week, so you have a story and I have a joke, right? That we want to. I have like a stand-up bit that I want to work on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I have one too. And remember, we talked about 2 bits, and we're gonna do that in the funny half that we're gonna record off air and then post it.
Yeah. And
so we've been doing
about 6 minutes to do that.
Yeah. So what we've been doing is you and I, maybe, I don't know if you have, but I've been collecting a lot of premises and maybe some like bare bones bits, ideas that kind of pop into my head. And I think, this could be funny. And then I have a few lines that would be funny, but I don't have like a full-fledged, fleshed out joke.
Right.
And I think, what we're going to do in that 15 minutes is to try to flesh it out. Almost like Whose Line Is It Anyways, a little bit. We'll have some stuff that we'll do on our own, but we'll share it with each other on that 15 minutes and see where we can riff and where we can go. And it might be a big lull in it. So that's why we're going to tape it and edit it. I mean, we'll probably get a lot of mega lulls. That's a internet joke. So
we'll cut that one. Cut that one.
Okay. No, this is the live. We're ruining it. So, but you know, and I think we might also kind of do like a back burner, a Monday morning quarterback it. So like when we do the live one and that one gets posted, then the next week when we're doing the nuts and bolts, the live, not the joke one, we'll talk about the jokes, how it went, what was helpful. Yeah. And, you know, one of the things, and I was just talking to you earlier, was you have such a good natural reaction to things. Like if something's graphic, you're like, whoa, you know, if something's funny, you react, and you have such a natural reaction that it hits you and you feel it. And so that kind of helps with a lot of premises to bits. Something just stands out to you.
It goes to what you were talking about, like my physical comedy. Like there's something about I'm able to get in tune physically with subject matters.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, even reacting, you clap, and then you move and you joke and your body, everything. Like so everything about you is physical when it comes to comedy, and that's not to say you have to be like Carrot Top, but I think the idea of what's physically around you, being aware of it, and then moving from that.
Well, so how much of the planning do you want to do right now? Because we've got a couple bits we want to plan for. We only have 4 minutes. Do you want to
what?
Talk about them? What we're going to do?
You know what? Let's just kind of leave it a surprise. I like because that's part of the quadrilateral, the surprise.
Yeah. So leave it a little surprise.
Leave it a surprise. So when they watch it, it's like they didn't know that we were going to talk about this. And to be honest, yours, I guess mine is not too bad.
Both of them are pretty funny.
Yeah. Yours, though, is definitely left field. Mine might be a little right field. Like, nobody ever talks about it. Everyone knows what it is. Nobody really brings it up. And the same with yours, So I think that the surprise of it, of being like, oh, yeah, you know what it is. You never talk about it, but it's there, and there's all these thoughts in your head. You're just like, So I think the surprise is going to be part of it, and I think the hope is by doing this that because one of the things that you really wanted out of this podcast was to actually make comedy,
Yeah.
And you were thinking of ways of.
Yeah.
You were thinking of ways of maybe like crashing a Zoom call and doing jokes or pranks and stuff. And so this, I think, is going to allow us to kind of spread our wings a little bit and move in that direction to where we're making comedy. Because I think both of us are funny. And I think the mix of us together makes it funnier.
I like to think that. Yeah. Yeah.
And then we're still keeping the nuts and bolts because I don't think we have the best grasp of comedy yet. So I think
this will really push us. It'll give us strictures that it will like refine. I think it'll be like a crucible.
Yeah, and then we can reflect on it. Why was it funny? And how did we notice the funniness? And so. All right.
Okay.
Well, thanks for tuning in. And Jim, I appreciate it. Doctor of Love. Isn't statistics Latin for love?